Nailed it. We nailed it.
Speaking of nailed it.
What?
I just want more episodes of that show.
Oh.
I don't know. I just want more episodes.
I know. COVID slowed everything down.
Yeah.
Sisters who've seen it. We are the sisters who've seen it. Sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, sisters who've seen it.
Hello.
Hi there.
Welcome back, listeners.
Welcome.
It's good to have everyone back. I'm glad you all came back for the best Christmas movie ever. And I'm laughing because nobody agrees with that, and it's an ironic laugh, so.
Despite the Rotten Tomatoes review of 15% out of 100.
Ooh, owie, that hurts me.
Okay, I was thinking about like why our family loves it, and I think because we're so spaced out in ages, especially Mary. And for whatever reason, it's that like adult kid movie, so you can laugh at adult jokes and laugh at kid jokes, but still like it's PG-13, so there's nothing too racy.
Is it PG-13?
Oh, it's PG. It's PG.
Oh my god!
Sorry.
I was like, what?
Yeah, so I don't know, I just feel like we became obsessed with it, and then like it's the one thing we can all agree on, which how ironic that it's a movie no one else in the world likes.
I just think this movie's hysterical. It's so funny.
It is hysterical.
I'm going to introduce us so y'all know who we are and what's happening. So, we are the Sisters Who've Seen It, the podcast where two sisters who are not movie critics look back on some of our favorites, like this one, throughout the years, through a psychological, ethical, and familial lens. I'm Katie.
I'm Bridget.
And put that cookie down!
And like Arnold Schwarzenegger, his career going from Terminator to Turbo Man, I don't know if he is proud or embarrassed. What do we think?
I think he should be proud. This is something to be proud of.
I'm trying to think of like when he made the decision to go for governor, and he's like, I gotta clean up my image so I'm not fearful, and he's like, Jingle All The Way is the one.
It's like, that'll rope in the voters, yeah.
He's like, I gotta be a family man.
Yeah. So obviously, everyone, our movie this week is Jingle All The Way, the beloved Christmas classic. I know you all watch it every year. You sit around the fireplace with your family, and everybody watches it.
Wait.
And you all have a great time. Oh, wait, am I thinking of A Christmas
what's
Story
that?
or A Wonderful Life?
You don't know about Jingle All The Way?
What? You've never seen it?
Take a seat. Listen up.
You're gonna learn today because we got some education about to happen on the beauty of this movie. Yeah, we are very biased. I mean, I think we talked about this at the end of the last episode, but like, of all Christmas movies, this is the one we all watch as a family.
The best. The best.
You know what it is? Because I was thinking about, well, recently I edited like the Love Actually episode. And I'm like, that movie sucked, like so bad. And we talk about in that episode how that movie takes itself so seriously, but it's so stupid that like it would have worked better if it just admitted it was stupid.
Yes!
And I think that's why this movie works, because it knows it's silly and ridiculous and it embraces it. It doesn't try to be like, no, guys, like this is like for real. Turbo Man's very serious. They're like, no, Turbo Man's absurd and let's go beat up Booster.
Well, and think of the sarcasm. The entire movie is around how annoying it is that one toy becomes so popular that it literally equates your love for a child. And if you don't get it, like, you're an awful, evil person. I mean, that in itself is so stupid on what we do. Yep. So it somehow, in a lighthearted way, tackles that.
Yeah, and it's very lighthearted. I think they tried to throw in some, like, family issues, but, like, no, it's not. It's just for fun. Let's be real. We gotta summarize it, though.
Katie?
Oh, no.
Can you do it? Can you do it?
I'll try.
You can do it.
All right, I'm not going to put on any Turbo Man costumes.
It's turbo time.
It's turbo time. Yeah, I mean, and hey, again, they know what this tone is. They set the tone. They start off showing us Turbo Man and Booster. But we don't like you, Booster. We hate you, Booster. Turbo Man and Booster, they are fake, like, I guess superheroes. I don't really know if Booster counts as a superhero. He's a big pink, like, saber-toothed tiger, maybe? I don't know. Turbo Man's kind of like Iron Man, though. He looks alike, and
He does.
Yeah, and he can fly and do all that. So it's just like a TV show that's about Turbo Man. He's saving a family and a kid. Then you meet the bad guy and whatever. And then you meet the main characters of the movie, which is little boy. His name is Jamie. He's played by Jake Lloyd, who played young Anakin Skywalker in episode 1. I know somebody's gonna care about that. So whoever you are, there you go. Okay. And then Rita Wilson.
Rita Wilson. This is a great cast.
We talked about her at our big fat Greek wedding. Thank God for Rita Wilson. She's the mom, and then the dad is Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah. And it kind of starts off, we get to see that it's around Christmas time, and we learn that the dad, Arnold, his name is Howard. Howard works a lot, and he's a workaholic. So he, like, misses things for his kids. So that's what we got going on. It's that type of shaboopy-doop. And Jamie's got a big karate something going on. It's my big karate something. I don't even know what he calls it. I just know it's a karate something. And he wants dad to be there. And the dad kind of forgets about it, but then remembers. And so, yeah. So then dad misses the karate. Oh, and we meet Phil Hartman. He is the best character in this movie.
The best.
He's so funny. Rest in peace, Phil Hartman.
Oh.
We miss you.
Oh my God.
He plays a single dad who's like a neighbor, and he is just like macking it with all the wives in the neighborhood, like openly. It's really funny.
But he does it in a domestic way.
Yes.
Like he domestically turns them on, and it's amazing. That's amazing.
One of my favorite lines is like some lady like starts hitting on him. She's like, "Wow, Ted, you're such like a man," or something. And he's like, "Thanks. We should swap recipes sometime." It's just so funny. Again, the movie's like, we're not taking it seriously because it's so silly. So he's there and he's clearly interested in Rita Wilson, who is the mom and whatever. So Arnold doesn't make it to the karate. Oh, snap. So then he's like trying to make it up to little Jamie. Jamie's obsessed with Turbo Man. And then Jamie basically is like, "Listen, Dad, you suck. But if you buy me a toy, maybe you won't suck." And Dad's like, "Yeah!" And then it's like, they're all happy and life is wonderful.
Except, it's Christmas Eve.
It's Christmas Eve. And then the wife is like, "You got the Turbo Man doll because that's the hot toy of the season, everyone. Everyone wants the Turbo Man doll." Arnold didn't get it because he's a big fat liar and he lies to his family about every moment of every day. That's his character.
Wait, can I have you pause really quick? I've just found that Phil Hartman created a backstory for his character. It's very short. Let me read it to you.
Oh my God, please.
Ted is a guy who sued his employer for headaches caused by toner fumes and now hangs around the neighborhood and helps all the housewives. And at the time, Phil Hartman always got these like pigeonholed roles of like just ridiculous people. And it goes, "Ted's another weasel to add to my list of weasels." He was brilliant. Oh,
he was so funny.
What a shame.
No, it was a shame.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, he's so funny. And like all throughout the movie, Ted is just kind of like, he'll just be there and like be annoying to Howard, you know, and then Howard gets annoyed and basically Ted trying to like swoop in, you know, that's like a subplot. And Howard is so busy that he's never there. So whatever. So then obviously the next day, Christmas Eve, Howard's like, "I'm just gonna go to the toy store and buy this doll. Cause y'all, It's before Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
No Jeff Bezos here. So we can't just order it and get a little drone to fly it to me. No. You got to drive in a car. You have to get out of the car.
This is when people
pay with money.
Saw each other in person and went to stores. Does anyone know what a store is? Anyone?
Anyone? Raise your hand.
Anyone?
Okay. It was really weird to rewatch that one scene where it was basically like a Black Friday-esque scene of everyone sprinting in the toy store like literal animals, and then the poor guy gets trampled. I was like, oh, I hate it. But again, it's a lighthearted movie, so everyone's like,
or the girl,
fine.
The little girl swallows one of the ping pong ball numbers, and he tries to squeeze it out of her mouth, and everyone starts yelling at him and hitting him.
Yeah, like there were just so many parts where you're like, ooh, that's scary, but like, haha, it's funny, because it is funny, and everything's funny.
God.
So, obviously, the doll, it's like sold out. Everybody wants it. Throughout his whole charade of going to all these places and calling all these places, he meets Sinbad, who is a mailman, who is also looking for the doll, and he has a lot to say about many things. So they kind of like form a rivalry in a strange way. I don't know. They spoke once in a line, so now they're enemies or something weird. I'm not sure. Anywho, so they keep running into each other. There's a lot of shenanigans. Lots of shenanigans. There's a whole thing. We go to the mall, and then it's crazy, and then Arnold is in a play set. It's very strange. And then there's like a radio station. There's a con man Santa and a whole underground illegal Santa operation that happens in one part. It's just so absurd. There's a reindeer. Ted has a reindeer. I don't know why. We don't know. But it's really funny. And then all at the end, magical climax, is the family. All they want to do is the kid, Jamie, and the mom. They just want to go to the holiday entertainment parade. We go every year. And the dad's like, I've literally never heard of this. And you're like, oh my God, Howard, wake up.
You're like, you're the worst dad ever. You don't ever do anything.
He doesn't even know like what day it is. He doesn't know his family.
He doesn't know his family traditions.
No, he doesn't. So that's the big thing. And the kid gets mad at the dad. And the dad's like, I'm going to make it up to him by appearing at the parade. And then more shenanigans. And he ends up, as you do, being recruited Men in Black style by random parade float workers who then undress you and put you in a Turbo Man suit. We don't need to check credentials. We just do it. And then he's Turbo Man at the end. And then Sinbad is somehow dressed up as the bad guy. And then it's this whole climax to get this stupid doll. The kid falls off a building. I don't even know. And then it saves the day. And then everyone's happy and nobody has injuries. And it's a magical Christmas miracle. It's the best movie. So that's what I got.
Okay, I read other people trying to summarize this movie. This is the shortest one. A father vows to get his son a Turbo Man action figure for Christmas. However, every store is sold out of them, and he must travel all over town and compete with everybody else in order to find one.
It's a good word for it.
I didn't realize that part, the competing.
Yeah.
I always looked at it like he just can't find it. But then there's that other really disgusting element of presents and Christmas where you're literally taking a toy from someone else, to the point that they actually have a scene of him going into the neighbors and stealing the little boy's Turbo Man.
Yeah, and then he kicks a flaming head of an apostle or I don't even know, or a wise man at a group of carolers. And it's so absurd. Oh my God. I'm trying to think obviously this year is very different, but even past years, I don't think I've ever tried to go shopping on Christmas Eve, but I guess it is kind of or it could be kind of like Black Friday where people are just scrambling for stuff. I don't know. I feel like online shopping's kind of changed a lot of that,
It has.
Yeah.
And if we asked mom and dad, I bet they have a story of one of us being younger and wanting like a stupid Barbie or something stupid. And knowing Dad, he was probably like, I know a guy, and he owed me a favor, and so got the toy.
I'll have to ask Dad about this to fact check, but I feel like I vaguely remember a story of like it was either Dad or Grandpa rode on a subway with a like life-size Smurf doll for Jimmy, and was like that was like a gift for Jimmy, and I don't know which one it was, but I think that's real. I will fact check that for all of us.
I love that so much.
Yeah. So, I mean, and again, I think this movie, it does like talk about that whole theme of, Christmas and family, but also it's like, what did you get? Don't be the loser who like, didn't get that. That's such a thing for kids, where it's like, you gotta have it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, just all the Turbo Man. Turbo Man is everywhere and everything. We got TV shows. We got Turbo Man jammies. We got Turbo Man cereal. We got Turbo Man billboards, I guess.
Well, how about the parade? A whole, like,
and the parade,
real action parade.
He was, like, before Santa, too. I'm like, where's Santa? Oh, we don't care about Santa. We're busy with Turbo Man. Got it. Cool. That was also, like, I'm not gonna lie, it's a cool idea to have a float with a superhero and then a staged, like, action scene. Obviously, the action scene didn't happen as it was supposed to, but, like, that's a cool idea. I'm surprised that doesn't happen more often,
I feel like the Macy's Day Parade, like, attempts it, but they're more, like, dancing and...
Yeah, it's always, like, a dance or, like, a singing performance or a musical performance. It's never, like, acting scene.
Maybe because parades are always moving and you're never, like, they don't stop. And so you can't actually, like, see it in action.
Yeah, I guess, but I don't know. It's a cool idea. But, all right, let's talk about the kid. What are your thoughts on little James? James?
Well, okay, this is hard for me. How old do we think he was?
I don't know, because if I were to guess, I would guess 8 or 9.
Okay.
That's my guess.
Okay.
Do you think younger?
I thought he was younger.
He might be, though. Maybe, like, 6 or 7?
Okay, because...
He was pretty articulate, though, I gotta say.
That's what I was gonna say. He had these waves of being really wise beyond his age, as well as being super annoying. And I thought that his weird, dialogue rants about how Turbo Man teaches you to be a better person were then offset by him whining. And so you're like, wait, I cannot figure out your age.
I just don't think the writers knew how to write for little child, or because his dad is Soup's irresponsible, little Jamie's like, now I have to be dad, so I will be responsible 8-year-old adult man, and I will give people speeches about how it's important not to lie. And you're like, Jamie, go color crayons.
I mean, this is like Kevin McAllister teaching the pigeon lady,
Yeah, right. Exactly. Well, even when he's mad at the dad, and then he kind of is like, you always, you lie to me and stuff like that. Like that, I don't know. I mean, just working with kids, I feel like that's usually not how that goes down. Usually what happens is the kid just like, is like, oh, thank God, like dad said he's sorry, and then it'll all be different. Oh, wait, it's not? Oh, life is sad. And like, it's never, I'm confronting you about it. That's... Yeah. I don't think that's typical for a kid to do.
Like that they know what's actually happening to synthesize it and then communicate what they've synthesized. Like, what?
Right. Yeah. Where he's like, yeah, karate's really serious, Dad. He's not even like at black belt. Like, it's okay. We got some time, all right? Ted filmed it all on video, he told us. Also, I realize it because I laugh at it, but like now sitting and like taking notes, I feel like almost every single line of dialogue Ted has to Arnold or to Howard, whatever, is like very passive aggressive. And
he's a weasel.
It's just so funny because he says it and like, I'm saying it so nice, but like if you listen to what he's saying, you're like, that's so rude. Like what? Where he's like, hey, sorry, missed the karate class, but don't worry, I got it all on video for you. You're like, cook it, Dad. It's so weaselly. That is such a good word for it.
And okay, but back to the kid. I think the other thing that I was like kind of annoyed about is the neighbor kid who was, you know, a little chunky, a little like kind of doofusy. Like they didn't give him as intelligent of lines. I found that to be really annoying. Do you ever notice that, or it's like, who cares?
You're annoyed that he didn't have more lines, or
like, what were we trying to portray? Like, oh, Jamie's dad is better because the kid is better. And so even though Howard's this terrible dad, the kids got it together, so they're doing okay, where Ted is this weasel, so his kid's like an idiot. Like, I feel like that was kind of weird.
I felt like both the kids were kind of idiots at some points. There's that one scene, they're both like punching each other and like arguing, and I'm like, Jamie, you can like do an adult monologue to your dad about being responsible, but you don't know how to communicate with your friend about playing fake Turbo Man games? I'm confused. Like, this doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, the neighbor kid, I honestly don't know his name. I just feel like he didn't have a lot of lines. And the lines that he did have, and really only the one that I'm thinking of, is where he makes the comment where he's talking about the reindeer, and he's like, oh, I named him Ted after my dad. And you're like, and then Jamie's like, your dad's so cool. I wish my dad was cool. And then he talks about how like, oh, my dad never was cool until he got divorced, which is like a weird turn. And then he goes, maybe your parents should get a divorce.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It was like, wait, what?
That was the only line where I was like, that's fucked.
Cook it.
Kid, don't be saying parents should get divorced. That's how you lose friends. He would be one of my little buddies in a lunch bunch. Let's just say that. We'd be having little lunch bunch combos about don't tell your friends they should get a divorce. Keep it to yourself. That's an inside thought, not an outside thought. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, besides that, and he did the karate too. Like, I feel like they were just kind of doing a lot of the same stuff, but it was just, that one part was weird.
Yeah, that's what, I don't know. I thought that was the only part that I was like, okay, that's annoying.
Yeah.
The other thing that I feel like with Ted that is so bizarre to me is like, okay, the thing that makes him even more of a weasel is all these housewives want him, and he's like, you know, just loves the attention from everyone, but he only wants it from Liz. Is that her name? Is that the mother's name?
Oh, it is Liz. Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Liz,
that's her name.
Rita Wilson. Does he like Rita Wilson because she doesn't find any interest in him? Or does he like Rita Wilson because he just thinks she's like the best of the best and he just picked her? Because I wish that I want what I can't have, like filtered. If that filtered into the kid, I would follow it. I just felt like the kid was like there and had no purpose, and it was like annoying.
Ted's kid. Are you talking about Ted's kid?
Ted's
kid.
Like,
okay.
Like, I didn't get, Ted was a force on his own, and then the kid was just like background, and I wish they like had a family personality.
I think the reason they had Ted have a kid was so that it was like Jamie had someone to compare himself to. Because he's like, it's your dad, instead of just being like, it's the neighbor Ted who's a man.
Yes.
Ted had to be a dad.
Yes. To make it work.
And even like you said with Liz, it's like, oh, he's like stepping in. He's always here, but dad's not here. Ted's here when we're making cookies. And like, we don't know where dad is because dad literally left and he's gone all day and it's Christmas Eve and what is happening. Also, that one scene where it's the morning and like, it's like breakfast, whatever. And then Howard tries to like run out the door and Liz is like, wait, it's Christmas Eve. Like, where are you going? And he goes, I have to go pick up the DOLL. Like, Jamie knows how to spell. I don't understand.
Again, how old is this kid?
Like, that kid, he knows what's happening. So I don't know.
So would Arnold be in your lunch bunch?
Arnold, when you want to keep a secret, you don't say it out loud. Okay, got it.
And think about that now. Now it would just be like, I'll text you, right?
Right. Yeah, like,
oh
it's
my
fine.
God.
Yeah, I mean, Ted he was, like you said, he's just a little weasel man. He's always there. He's there with the cookies. The cookie scene is iconic.
Everything in this movie just highlighted buying affection and buying love. And like, very conditional love. Even Ted was always like, if I do this, I'm here, I'm helping. Like, he was never just there to listen, and when he was, he tried to, like, smooch her. What a gross man.
Know. Yeah. He even, with his kid, he got his kid a reindeer. Like, I'm sorry. That's some black market.
Cook it.
What do you do with that?
He was like, I'm gonna release it to a family of deer. Why do you watch your family of deer, Ted? I have so many questions.
Oh, that's a really good line where he's like, Howard, I've been watching over the course of a couple months a family of deer. And he was like, I've been analyzing their every moves. And then Arnold's like, oh, okay, Ted. I'm like, honestly, you know what's fun about Ted is like, maybe not as much now because neighborhoods aren't as much the same as they used to be, but like everyone has a neighbor that they're like eye rolling
like
at.
Ted.
Yeah, that's like, that person's so annoying.
Or he's like, I'll wrap some chains around your tires for you. And you're like, wait, stop it!
And listeners, if you don't know who that neighbor is, it's you.
Uh-oh. Are you Ted? Did you get your kid a reindeer? Uh-oh. Better go to Lake Minnetonka to release them. Yo. That's why it was funny, though, because I felt like all the characters around Arnold that he had to actually talk to, besides, like, the wife and kid, it was like everyone around him was so annoying. So, like, the whole time Howard is just like rolling his eyes and like annoyed with everyone. Like he was like that with Ted. He was like that with Sinbad. And like anytime he had to interact with like someone else, he was like basically just like annoyed. And he was like, everyone around me sucks. Even though I lie to my family 24/7.
Pretty much. Well, that was what was, maybe it's just because Arnold Schwarzenegger is someone like in general people are like, okay, you know, you're just an interesting person regardless, but he somehow had the ability to like be liked even when he did things you didn't like about him, where in other films I'm like, ew, I didn't like that person as much as they wanted me to, but somehow he gets away with it. But I wonder if that's because you just go into these other worlds where people are so much worse. And then Sinbad being the comparison and going to the extreme of like pretending one of the mail packages is a bomb. And then like learning it really was a bomb. And then being like, people are sick. People are sick. People are sick. And then you're just like, poor mailman. By the way, I read a lot that Sinbad ad-libbed a lot of his lines.
Amazing. I could see that. I could totally see that.
Underrated. I find him to be incredibly funny.
Yeah, I think he's really funny. Just all like the monologues he went on were so funny. But like the way that, because now knowing that those were ad-libbed, I think makes it even funnier, because that means that Arnold was ad-libbing his reactions, right?
Yes, yeah, exactly.
The scene where they first meet and they're standing in like the big mob of people outside the toy store. Arnold just keeps like looking at him and he's like, and it's just like, it was good acting. I'm like, I would react like that if I'm standing next to Cuckoo Bananas, who's like monologuing about, I don't even know what the heck he's monologuing about. He like goes on this whole like conspiracy theory about toy companies. He's like, the toy companies, they're putting the microchips in the toys and they're sucking kids' minds out. And he's just like going on and on. You're like, what's happening?
Can you imagine Sinbad going on a rant about social media now?
Oh, God.
He would just be like, okay, I want you to go to Jingle All The Way, scene 7, section 5, and add in the word social media.
Yeah. And then again, Arnold, I think he has like so good at expressions, like when he had to be, because there were times where his character, he like got a little crazed and was like, like I'm losing my mind too. And like he had the big eyes and he's, the big smile and like crazy town stuff. So it was just good. I agree with you. I think the casting was on point.
So you know who they were gonna have play Sinbad, but like they changed their mind? Joe Pesci.
My God.
But they said that compared to Arnold, he would look so little, it would have been like weird.
He just would have been like,
Can you, first of all, if Joe Pesci wanted a doll and I was in the way, Joe Pesci's getting that doll.
Yeah, I'm afraid.
Where Sinbad, I'd be like, come on, we could battle. You know, I'd be like, let's do this.
I could take him.
You're a comedian. Let's do this, you know?
The scene where they're racing each other from the, like, diner to the radio station. And Arnold's just, like, you know, easily jogging. And Sinbad's like, he's, like, throwing mail at him. So good. Oh my gosh.
That made it so funny that he was just like a mailman that still had to deliver Christmas stuff, but was taking time off to get his son a present. I think, honestly, our family kind of likes dark humor with a pretty little bow on it because, like, that's kind of what this is, you know?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Like you said, the bomb, like, there's a bomb. Nobody dies. It's magical. There's just, like, smoke and everyone's fine. But yeah, that could have been pretty bad in another movie.
Yeah.
Also, the con men, like, subplot was so hysterical because that's also, like, kind of dark. There's all these evil underground, like, I don't know what was happening.
Okay, no, you know what the modern day version of that today, because I had a coworker like this, and he thought he was, like, so smart, and we all looked at him like, you're the devil.
Was it a pyramid schemer?
No, the people that, okay, Tickle Me Elmo comes out, it's 1996, it's the hottest year in the world, and every parent's like, oh snap, I gotta get it. And there's a guy that buys 5,000, and then he sells it on eBay for an upcharge. There are people like that exist. And this guy was bragging about all the cool things that he knew what was going to be the hot toy, and he made so much money off of it. And we were like, you're a terrible person. Those are like families that can't give their kid a toy. What is wrong with you?
A skit from The Office? I feel like that was
probably
a literal episode from The Office
where
Dwight was like buying
yeah,
gifts.
it's a Dwight move. Like it.
Yes.
I just, those people exist. I bet they still exist, and get over yourselves. It's like parents trying to get kids toys that half the time they don't want to get, but it's like a commercial, and then they're like, oh crap, now this kid wants it, you know?
Well, I hope your coworker does not dress up as Santa Claus and does an underground Santa Claus warehouse with dogs dressed as reindeer and candy cane decorations, because like that was a commitment. It was, you know what that reminded me of? That reminded me of in Batman, where it was like all the henchmen were 1,000% in it to win it, and like nobody was like, this is so dumb. Yes. That was these people. They're like, we are very serious about our Santa Claus heist. Okay. Oh my god.
This is so random, but do you remember when we had the weird year that we went on a cruise, a family cruise, and yes. Mom was pregnant with Mary. Yeah. And we decided, let's go see stingrays, which is very ironic now looking back.
Do I remember?
Wait.
Are you kidding me?
Wait.
The trauma.
Wait, but do you remember, we got off the cruise ship, some lady that literally looked like a gypsy was like, psst, psst, hey. You guys want to see stingrays? And Mom, I was 16, I think. Mom at the time was like, yeah, what do you got? And she was like, well, you gotta give me $300 cash.
Oh my god.
And then you'll have to come back and there'll be a boat and you'll get on this boat and say like X. And she just handed her money and I was like, Mom! But I'll give it to her. The lady stuck to her word and there was a boat and we did it. But that was like this. It was like, hey, yeah, you need a Turbo Man? I was like, I feel like this probably happens to people, you know?
That's how you get, like, human traffic. That's so scary.
And Mom was pregnant. She was pregnant when she did this. I'm like, you have too many kids at this point. If you're like, yeah, sure, here's $300. Leave me alone. We'll get go
I was 10. Yeah, I don't remember. Oh my gosh. Yeah, but that's what I mean. It's like, it was so absurd that it was just funny. And it wasn't that long, thankfully. You know, it wasn't like a too long scene. It kind of
God.
We're in and out.
Kate, I just found a site. Wow.
Is it the Jingle All The Way fan club?
No,
I'm ready.
It's a list of all the criminal offenses committed by Arnold Schwarzenegger in Jingle All The Way.
What?
Are you ready?
Amazing.
I'm going to break this down. When he's late for the karate class, he speeds in the wrong lane.
Yes.
And then the guy goes, 3 points on a license, $100 fine.
Ouch.
When he assaults the little girl the store.
Oh my God.
And then the guy goes up to 6 months imprisonment when he harasses the employee, and he goes 3-month ban from the shopping center when he obstructs traffic because he just leaves his car somewhere and parks it, and the guy's $30 fine. Oh, he ruins the property. Remember the Turbo Man cutout, and he like rips it in half. He's like
it up.
6 months banned from the mall. And then he goes continuous dangerous driving where he almost hits the cop, and that's what makes the cop crazy because he always runs him over, and then he spills the coffee on him.
Oh,
and he's like, fine. More assault at the mall. And then he goes, remember when he jumps off the escalator onto the piano and he's just like ruining property in the mall as he's like running through?
He's chasing the ball.
He's chasing the ball. And then he, the toddler assault we talked about. Oh, and then he buys counterfeit goods with the con man Santa.
Yes,
then he gets into a fight. He assaults the Santa. Then he impersonates a police officer when they get raided.
I was gonna say, yeah, he does. Sure
then he harasses the radio guys when they give him crap. And then, remember, he breaks the window! Yeah, and then there's terrorism because he was with Sinbad with the bomb, pretending there was a letter bomb. And then the guy goes, and then animal cruelty with the reindeer because he gives the reindeer booze. Do you remember
that? He punches the reindeer. He punches in the face. It's not cool.
Then he resists arrest and run from the cop.
He also breaks into a home. He breaks into Ted's house.
Yep. I don't even know. Wow. I'm sending you the site. That's amazing.
Well, Howard works a lot, so he's got money to pay off all those tickets, clearly. Lord help us. That's so funny.
My God.
I'm going to put that link on the website for everyone. You guys can check it out if you want to read more about the Jingle All The Way.
What was this?
Oh, Lord.
By Nick Pope, 2015. Way to go, Nick.
That's so funny. We love you, Nick.
You remember how when we rewatched 10 Things I Hate About You, there's a lot of like physical comedy and we were like, yes. Did you feel that way with this movie, or did you feel like it had a good pace?
No, I felt like it was differently paced.
Okay.
Because nothing went on too long, in my opinion, but also nothing was too short. Or I should say, nothing was too short and exceptionally random. If it was random, it was a whole scene of random, and not just like, why was that one thing happening for 2 seconds? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The only parts that I felt like went by fast, but it was all kind of one cohesive thing, was in the mall when it was like he was trying to get the ball and it was all the different like stuff. That scene is very, very funny. And I think the music too, they did good choice in music because they play this very like calming, happy Christmas song as everyone is literally beating each other up and biting each other and punching each other and choking each other. And then someone gets maced in the face. Like I think Arnold gets maced by like Sinbad or something just to get this little ball that could win them a Turbo Man. And I don't think anyone even wins because we lose the ball.
Nope, nobody wins. And he assaults a toddler.
He assaults a toddler, yeah. Although also when that scene starts and it's like I guess it was like a toy store in the mall. I'm not sure. And the guy is like making the announcement and he's talking on a little child's microphone. And he's like, hello everyone. Yes, the rumors are true. We do have Turbo Man here. This is so absurd because like that's how it's treated. It's like by word of mouth, we all know there's this secret like shipment of Turbo Man dolls to this one store.
Ridiculous.
Oh my god.
Wait, I found Sinbad's monologue about the toy companies and their problems. Yes. First of all, his name Myron is amazing. That's a great name.
Oh, I forgot that was his name. Myron, you're taking this too far.
They sit there and they use subliminal messages to suck your children's minds out. And I know what I'm talking about because I went to junior college for a semester and I studied psychology. So I'm right in there. I know what's going on. And then they sit there and they make your children feel like garbage. And you're the father who's working 24/7 delivering mail so you can make an alimony payment to a woman that slept with everybody at the post office but me. And then when you get the toy, it breaks and you can't fix it because it's cheap little plastic. I mean, sorry, it all came back to me.
First of all, that was an amazing impression. Clap to you. Amazing. But also, like, he's not wrong.
How sad is this that it's still true, like, 50 or 10 years later, whatever. Oh my god. Oh, the internet makes this so fun that I can remember everything. How many times do you think we quote Jingle All The Way during Christmas time?
Anytime I pick up a cookie and I either say or somebody says, put that cookie down, or we say, oh, these cookies. I gotta get the recipe from Liz. Oh, these cookies. Or really, anytime anything tastes good, you could reference, oh, these cookies, because gotta get the recipe from Liz.
Another Sinbad quote. He goes, how about these stupid letters from kids to Santa? Dear Santa, can you send me a bike and a slinky? No, your father's been laid off. It's like, I don't know if watching it out of like a pandemic COVID year would make everybody laugh, or if it would be way too real, and then they'd all be like, oh, we can't watch this. We're all Myron at this point.
We're all Myron. We all relate to Myron. I don't know if I would dress up as the villain in a Turbo Man parade float, though. I don't think I'm that level of Myron, personally, because that's intense.
When you were younger, though, Kate, you were, like, obsessed with Power Rangers.
Oh, yeah. I was the Blue Ranger for, like, 2 or 3 years for Halloween. Me and all the boys. I
feel like this reminds me of that. Turbo Man reminds me of Power Rangers.
Yeah. And those characters, because they look like Power Rangers, they're like, they're the bad guys. They're all different colors and stuff. Well, and it's also like the big costumes and even like Booster. Like that was kind of the style for Power Rangers too. But again, just like Power Rangers, the Power Rangers knew they were cheesy. They weren't trying to be serious.
Yeah. Wait, Kate, do you remember the quote if you were going to the con man when you knocked on it? What was the password?
Jingle bells, Batman smells. Again, there was a lot of thought put into this underground operation.
Oh, God.
Everybody's in it to win it, and wow. That's impressive, I gotta say.
Oh, I love it.
I want to talk about the parade.
Oh, God. I'm sorry. I'm just, like, down the rabbit hole on quotes. They're so ridiculous. I could do this all night. Yes, the parade.
Well,
the parade, I would pay for that, like, live action. First of all, would you dream of this going on Broadway? Because I would.
This would be a great Broadway. I don't know. You'd have to have really good songs though, because there's no original songs. But like,
that's true. Minor detail. But yeah,
there's the carolers. They sing about figgy pudding. They could have that, I guess. But
can you imagine if they're like, "We're the con mans, but we have good hearts. You're the poor dad that didn't prep for your son."
I hope so. And then the Sinbad character could do a whole rap about conspiracy theories and how everyone is too poor to afford pleasing their children for Christmas.
I love it.
Yes, I'm in it.
We should just, you know what? Forget Christmas. We should just write the Broadway play Jingle All The Way for Christmas. That should be what we do.
Wait, when you come, we can do that.
We should just do that. Let's just do it.
Get some wine and bang it out. I'm ready.
Mom can come up with the songs. Dad can think of the one-liners.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we could do it.
I want Mom to specifically write a song about the cookie scene, and I want it to be a duet between Ted and Howard, and they're going to be standing at opposite ends of the stage with their own phones, and it's like separate lights, and like Ted is like, oh, these cookies, wow, and then Howard's like, put that cookie down, and then it's like a song, and like... I can see it all now. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I think it could win a Tony. I'm just saying.
Put that cookie down. I think we might have something here.
Okay, we're copywriting that, everyone. I know everyone is so invested in this movie as much as we are, but like it's our idea, so watch out.
Do you think people are still listening? Or
I hope so, because we're going to talk about the parade.
Oh, sorry, the parade. I really
so
have been
fun.
Distracting you this entire episode. I'm so sorry. The parade.
It's okay. I love the parade. I also think, did you notice the microphones that the parade announcers wears? They're like the biggest microphone I've ever seen, but it's like Britney Spears style, and I really think you and I should get that for podcasting.
First, that's a line line Mom always says.
Yes.
Fly, Turbo Man, fly. Use your jetpack. She says that all the time. Oh my
so
God.
Funny. So good. Yeah. I mean, I watch like the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade every year.
Totally.
So I love a good parade. Parade's
The best.
a good time. I don't love sending potentially 8-year-old children out by themselves to watch the parade. That I don't love. Yeah, like that's how we get kidnapped or lost in New York, like Kevin. So don't like that. But
Nope.
you know, we had to get that scene where Ted was being creepy to Liz and she hits him with the eggnog in the head.
I loved it.
So thank God. And then we just don't see Ted for like that whole part. He's just not there.
Which, it was like, okay, enough for Ted. Like, it was good for Ted to go
We're
away.
like, we're done. Do you remember what Ted's kid says to him when he sees him?
Dad, you smell like throw up!
And he goes, Dad, you smell like barf. Well, because he goes, Dad, Jamie's dad is Turbo Man. And then Ted's like, let's get out of here. So funny.
But the parade scene itself, it was kind of very entertaining to watch.
Yeah. It looks like a fun parade. There's so many characters and things happening.
This whole movie is kind of like an action-adventure movie in a way, but for like suburban people, you know?
Kind of, yeah. Around Christmas.
It was very exciting, and I feel like when he then was trying to fly around, he like flew through buildings and he like hit his head on stuff.
Oh my gosh.
The graphics, from what I remember, I don't know. I don't think they were that bad.
No, I thought they were fine. The funniest part of that is when he flies through the window of the family who goes, let us pray. And he's just like, he flies through. Oh my God. So funny.
Kind of loved how him and Myron were like figuring out what stuff was on their suit, and they kept like hitting each other with like buttons they just discovered, and they're like,
Myron magically dislocated his entire hand and it flies and punches Turbo Man, who is Howard, in the face and then flies back, and then he's able to move his fingers again. It's
brilliant.
Really magic. Because you know what, Turbo Man? I'm one step ahead of you because I got a bigger brain. This is so funny.
That probably was so much fun to work on.
Yeah, I think so. Oh my gosh. And then when I watched that scene too, Dad was like walking through the living room as I'm watching it, and he's like, oh, what? The kid doesn't recognize his dad because he's wearing a yellow visor in front of him. I was like, yeah, Dad, continuity errors, but it's fine, we're just gonna accept it. He goes, nobody else in the world talks like him, so like, he should know that's his dad.
Dad's starting to sound like you. That's how I know Dad's listening. Thanks, Dad, for listening.
Right. Thanks, Dad. Give us 5 stars. Anyway.
He's like, how do I do that? How do I do that?
He has no idea to do that. No idea at all. The only way he knows how to listen is when I text it in a text message, and he has to poke it. That's literally the only way. Any extra steps, that's not gonna work at all. Yeah. So, and like, even when he realizes, like, oh my God, there's a doll in front of me, and he starts being like, yeah! Like cheering like crazy. It's just so funny. And Booster's like, are you gonna pick a kid? Come on, man. Booster. Nobody likes you, Booster.
Nobody likes you, Booster.
We hate you. So funny.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, and then, you know, at the end, as you do, your child climbs up a building, hangs off a ledge, you fly with a jetpack to save them.
Obviously.
Everybody knows this.
Well, we had foreshadowing with the first scene. In the credits, that's how the kid was saved, and...
Yes. It's very true.
Why do I want the doll? I got the real Turbo Man in person.
Except, like, also don't continue to lie to me, Dad. Love you. Now that you're Turbo Man, you need to be responsible.
Can you just, like, come to my karate class, Dad?
Dad, I just want you at 1, please. And he's Dad, like, no, now I'm Turbo Man, I'm busy.
Dad, stop hanging out with crazy mailmen. Dad. Dad, stop trying to, like, break into the neighbor's house, Dad.
Wait, so, like, there was a, I guess, end credits scene? Or I don't even know. I don't ever remember seeing this scene on our version of this movie. I watched this, like, on TV or whatever. And at the end, it's like, oh, everyone's happy. And now it's Christmas, like, night, Christmas Eve night, or it's Christmas Day. So it's the three of them, the family, and they're all, like, around the tree. And the wife is like, wow, you did so much to, like, you know, make Jimmy happy today. Like, what did you get me? And then it's like the, and it zooms in on Arnold being like, like all bug-eyed, and then it ends. And I was like, wait, what?
He's the worst dad ever.
He's the worst. He didn't get his wife a gift, I guess. So, good one, Howard. Better make that up.
I mean, the real Arnold Schwarzenegger story in life, too, is like, he's kind of a ridiculous person. I mean, do you remember all that scandals with him?
No.
What? You don't?
What was the scandals?
What?
When was the scandals?
I'm pretty sure that he had a baby with the housekeeper.
Drama! No, that's like nowhere in my brain.
Wow. Am I making it up? No one knows. Let's check in.
Are you thinking of Jude Law? Yeah. I just remember he was like governor. I remember he used to be a bodybuilder, and then that kind of transitioned him to being in acting and being an action star.
Yeah, okay, here's the story. In 2011, Schwarzenegger had fathered a son more than 14 years earlier with an employee in the house.
Ew.
But I don't know. His character, like, think about it. Would you want to be married to Howard from Jingle All The Way? No way. What a mess.
Definitely not. I don't want to be married to any adult males in this movie because they all
If you were
suck.
to pick Howard or Ted?
No, I'm not picking.
Or Sinbad.
I'm not picking.
No, okay. No, marry, kill, and then have with. You're going to pick
this.
Sinbad, Howard, or Ted. Who are you doing?
I'm not playing. No, I don't want to play.
Here's what I would do. I would marry Sinbad. I would have sex with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I would kill Ted.
You would listen to Sinbad's rants every day of your life as a married woman?
I mean, I don't know. It could be kind of funny. I mean, think about it. He's kind of spot on. Maybe he's actually just a fortune teller. I don't know what's happening.
I would marry the plate of cookies. I would kill the con man. Just the whole operation. No human killing, but like kill like this idea because it's silly. And I would
Did you say you just kill this idea? Because that's the best answer when someone ever asks for this game. Is just be like, I'd kill this idea, the end.
And then I would just have the Turbo Man. I don't even know who it is. I don't care who it is. I would just want to say, like, it was a superhero, so, like, check that off your bucket list, I guess. So.
Wait, that's a cool bucket list item. All right.
I mean, you know. Yeah. So, that's what I got. But I think this movie is so funny. I think people need to understand it is not serious. Again, unlike Love Actually, this movie isn't to be taken seriously, and it knows it. It's just there to enjoy. It's there to have on in the background and laugh at because it's so funny.
It's so funny. I wonder if it, like, actually made money.
Probably not. I think there was a sequel with none of the same people, and I think the sequel is trash, and I refuse to watch it because I don't want to taint my love. So there.
Hey, this did make a profit. The budget, $75 million, and then they made $130 million, and with our family alone, we've contributed $1 million to that.
I mean, we bought one VHS, and that's all we used, so we totally contributed money to it. So good.
Oh, this was fun. We knew we wanted to do this movie for a while.
Yeah. So, because this is our family movie, Jingle All The Way is our family movie, I went to the family to get us a quote. And it's not going to be a live quote, but I am going to email it to you right now. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready. I'm going to press play now. We can all participate in this. All right, where is it? All right, our episode that's being released is Jingle All The Way. So I would like everyone's favorite Jingle All The Way quote.
Put that cookie down!
Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comic, Cupid, Donna, Blitzen. Did I win? Did I win the prize?
All right.
Dad! You remember Jingle All The Way?
All right.
I don't understand it, but that's what we got.
Oh my God. I love that he whispered it to you like, I don't know. Like he's in trouble.
Yeah, but it's also like these get edited, so it's like...
Oh, he's too funny.
I think he thinks it's... I don't know what he thinks, but...
Well, I guess we think it's our Christmas family movie and Dad's never watching it?
I don't know. I don't know.
That's great.
So, our next movie that I'm picking for you is going to come out December 30th. So, still in December, still in 2020, but after Christmas. So, I have a movie pick for you, and you're going to love it.
Oh.
I know you're going to love it, because we've talked about this movie, and it's kind of festive, but I don't think it's as festive as like the other Christmas movies we've done. It is a rom-com. It's perhaps the best rom-com of the holiday season. We're gonna watch The Holiday.
Yeah! This is the one I thought you were going to pick with Love Actually.
I know.
Movie is the best.
This one does it right. Does it right.
And I haven't watched it in a really long time, so maybe we'll find other things, but oh, what joy. I love it.
This is such a good one.
This is a great one.
Kate Winslet, Cameron Diaz, Jack Black, Jude Law. Iconic. Just amazing.
It has English people. It has American people. So it kind of like, you know, has this like, you get travel in there, you get new culture, you get heartbreak, you get all of it.
There's a random old man that we befriend, and I don't remember his name, but he's in there and we like him. So
my gosh.
Also, you want to know why this movie is probably good? On top of all the other pieces, always the important piece, the writer and director, same person, was a woman. So, yep.
Wow. You just snapped.
Yep.
Oh my G. This is actually a movie I'm excited to watch.
You weren't excited for Jingle All The Way, Bridget?
I feel like because I know we will continuously watch it over and over and over again, that it's like, I don't know if I'd ever just watch The Holiday, but I'm really excited now. Great pick.
So yeah, I wanted to slip that in, so we'll get that in before the new year. We will end on a high note for our year. Amazing. Well, Bridge, I just want to say, if you were, you know, looking for Turbo Man and you were fighting a mailman all day to get it, I would probably order it on Amazon for you. What can I say? That's because I love you.
I totally love you too. And honestly, when we're hanging out, you don't need to put the cookie down. You could just eat the cookie.
Oh, it's cookies. Gotta get the recipe from Liz. Amazing. I love it. All right, listeners, if you also love cookies, and I'd be very surprised if you love Jingle All The Way, so I'm not going to include that, but if you love cookies and us, you should write us a review. We love reviews. We love written reviews. You can find a review spot on Apple Podcasts, so please go there. Tell everyone how much you love us and how much you love these cookies. Gotta get the recipe from Liz. You can quote me on that in the review, okay? All right, we'll be looking for that, everyone. So I'm counting on you to do that. All right, well, we're done.
That's it. It's turbo time. See you guys later.
It's turbo time. Yeah. All right, well, we'll be back next week with The Holiday. Very different movie, but a good movie. So that'll be good.
Can't wait. Love you.
Yay. Love you. We'll see y'all next week, listeners.
Love you, listeners. See you later.
Turbo time. Bye-bye. Thanks for tuning in to Sisters Who've Seen It. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Check out our website at sisterswho'veseenit.com, where you can email us, request movies to be reviewed, and keep up to date with all things sisters. Also, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. See you next week.